Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our work session. We'll have one council member that just sent a message. He's going to be a little bit late. So we're going to go ahead and begin. What value gives? Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for the opportunities that you have given us. And we thank you for how you have blessed Wetumpka. And we ask you to continue to watch over us, lead, guide, and direct us in everything we might say or do. And continue to bless us, Father. Father, tonight our hearts are heavy. The loss of Peggy Blackburn, who has covered hundreds and hundreds of these meetings here in the city over the years, writing for the newspaper. And she's going to be missed greatly. She did a fantastic job. She loved her city, and she did a fantastic job of reporting the news here in our city. So, Father, we just pray that you would bless her family, watch over them, comfort them as they go through these trying times. In Christ's name we ask. Amen. Amen. You notice tonight there's a black ribbon on the chair where Peggy normally sat for I don't know how many years. She has reported for the Wetumpka Herald, but she's going to be greatly missed in this community. So that's the reason for the black ribbon. Tonight, in the work session, I'd like to skip down, if you would, for just a minute, that we can run through these items real quickly, and then we'll go back to the top of the list on Councilman Gill's request. But tonight on the old business, permission to purchase protective equipment for 10 fire personnel at the Wetumpka Fire Department at an estimated cost of $7,500 total. So that has been presented to us before. This will be the second presentation, right? Any questions on this? Okay. Then item 2 on the old business, authorization for a 5-year contract for cloud data storage for Taser body cameras. Wetumpka Police Department at an approximate cost of $4,300 per year, paid annually. This has also been presented before Council. Do you have any questions on this? Okay. And then on the new business this evening, ordinance number 2016-2, establishing use of electronic vote counting devices for the 2016 and subsequent years. Any questions on this?
That's a standard requirement we have to do for the election.
Has to do everything.
It's just one of those mandatory things.
Same machines, just
Yeah, there's a new automark, it's like an ADA machine. So we have to approve the machines for these city-wide election.
Okay, item 2 on the new business, ordinance number 2016-3, establishing procedures for the appointment of additional election officers for handling absentee ballots.
That's another, just
Another requirement.
yeah, another requirement.
how many?
It depends on how many we're expecting to have. I think we can have 3, if I'm not mistaken. But those appointments, we're not doing the appointments tonight. We're just authorizing it, and then when you actually do the appointments for the election officials, you'll add those in. So that'll be coming at a different date, the actual number and who it is.
This question is a lot of times someone that's been there for a while. Of course, I can't help but like Mary said, but it was a lot of times it's on the committee. It's normally like someone's been a poll official for a while that does it. Obviously, we wouldn't.
Usually they like to use the ones that know what they're doing and have been through the training and all that. Any new people coming in have to go through the training. I think everyone has to go through the training each time, but it's pretty well a reoccurrence. But, okay. Then item 3.
One quick final question, who's typically responsible for making appointments for polling officials?
For the polling official,
For municipal, I know in the county, but I know it's different from municipal.
the clerk normally handles that.
Okay.
And if someone is interested in working, would they contact the clerk or how's that?
Can, yes. Okay, then item 3, a special event area behind the administrative building for CrossFit Intrigue, April 9th and 10th, 2016, requested by the Chamber of Commerce. That's use of the grounds, the area back there behind the administrative building. Any questions on that? They did this last year. And item 4, special events, Gold Star Park, Junior Parent Room, and area behind the administrative building for the Cradle Crawl Race, April the 15th, 2016. And then item 5, special events, Gold Star Park, April 30th, 2016, Coach Kyle Dawkins Scholarship Fund, a fishing tournament, daylight till dark, I guess that means. Any concerns there? Okay, Coach Dawkins was affiliated with the school here, was a coach there, and this is a fundraiser for the scholarship fund. Okay, item 6, special event, Gold Star Park, May 7th and 8th, 2016, exclusive use for the drag boat race, Shane Stovall, starting at 11 a.m. until, and if that is a Sunday, they do not start until after church. That may be a Saturday right there, and I don't know, well, the 8th is probably going to be a Sunday, but they will not start until after church, which is at noon. They've been doing this for a number of years. Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Thank you. Item 7, special event, Gold Star Park, June the 4th, 2016, personalized creations, healthy eating, lifestyle practices, from 9 a.m. until 1 a.m. I do not know who that is. Yes, ma'am. Would you stand up and tell us?
Sure. It's a healthy, good afternoon. It's a healthy eating lifestyle practice. I organize a nonprofit organization that's catered to helping children learn how to eat healthier and doing different activities. I had the event last year in Gold Star Park. The only difference this year, it will be from 10 a.m. until 12 instead of 9 a.m. We need to set up by 9 a.m. That's why I requested that time in order to set up.
And this comes under, you said,
Personalized Creations, the nonprofit organization that I established back in 2007 as a ministry, and I changed it over to a nonprofit in order to reach out to the community.
do you have that for adults too?
Yes, it is, and I asked that the adults come out to join the kids so they can incorporate with some of the activities as well. And I have different sponsorships and different people that will come out and talk about different things that's relevant to your child as well as yourself. Basic things, some of the kids don't know the difference between a cauliflower and a broccoli. And I did juicing and just brought something new to the children where they understand that it's very important for them to start eating healthier right now, since we have, the state of Alabama have one of the highest obesity rates in youth in America. So I went through different stages of different illness with family members as well as myself, and I started eating healthier, and it changed everything totally different. And I've always ministered and mentored to youth, so now I want to just broaden it out into the community and get our kids focused on that. And I also contact the Board of Education this morning, and they also said that they was willing to participate as well, since it's out of the school term, that they would get that information out to them as well.
Okay, are you local, are you from here in Wetumpka?
Yes, I've been here since I was 11 years old.
Okay, well,
Yes,
could I get you to do this? Could I get you to come by my office at some point in time? I don't see any problem with this.
Okay.
But come by my office and let us discuss some things with you that we have been working on.
Okay.
And Coach Dickerson has worked on it. We are part of a program called Let's Move, which is Michelle Obama's program.
Exactly.
And I serve on that board.
I've been trying to get approval for that.
Mayor George Evans from over in Selma is also on that board. But there's some things in there that we would like to share with you, that you might like to carry over into the program and help us with this.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds
Thank you so
good.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, an item that was left off of the agenda is, let's just add it down. It's item 8, to add an agenda to the item this evening. Bobby Mays came in and spoke with us about the use of the MLK Center for NAACP meetings. And there was, they meet twice a month, I believe was the discussion we had. And wanting to present it to the council for the possibility of waiving the fee, which was $115 for the council to waive the fee.
That's for valid public purpose?
Yeah, that's what we determined, it was a valid public purpose, and it would not interfere with, let's just say we had a repass. The repass would take precedence over this meeting, and he is in agreement with that. But that's the request he will be making of the council, is to waive that fee. So if the council, once we get to that point in time to add an agenda item, entertaining adding this item. Okay?
So, question, he meets twice a month,
He meets twice a month,
so it would be a total of $230 a month he's paying, or $115.
$115 each time.
So it's $230 a month.
But they only charge $115 for the whole day, and they're just meeting, they're just holding a meeting.
Whether it's an hour, I don't know Mr. Bates could hold a meeting for 1 hour, it's probably gonna be a 2-hour meeting. But anyhow, that's, he came in, presented it to us, and we looked at the legal side of it, and Mr. Gill was there, and others were there, and discussed it, and that's what we were proposing for the council to entertain that. Okay, back to the work session and Councilman Gill's request. Councilman Gill, would you lead forward? And I'm sorry I asked someone to turn the heat up. Put it on cook. Nasty heat. Great.
From your evaluation, as a company, we're getting cooled off a little bit. So the first item I asked for us as a council to go ahead and consider fulfilling the position at the Black History Museum for a part-time position. Of course, we've discussed this before several months ago, and I think there was a question of one of the employees taking a leave absent. I don't know all the details of it, but I certainly want to bring that back before the council and see if we can go ahead and fulfill this vacancy at the Black History Museum. I'd like us to take a vote on this tonight to have any discussion if we need to have discussion in the work session about it.
Okay. Any, to bring you up to speed as to where this was, some time back, we presented a plan that the 2 museums that we have here in the city, of putting the operational hours and operation of the facilities under the direction of the librarian. And we had a employee working in the library that could split time between the museum on this side of the river and the library, and cover the hours and maintain certain hours and keep the museum open. And we were successful in doing this. On the other one, we had a museum on the west side. We had a employee with the city that was available, that we could possibly put in that position, and we made that proposal to do that. She went on leave with some health issues and was on leave for a period of time. And during that process, we made the proposal. It wasn't, whether there was confusion or whatever, it wasn't well received that for her to be the one to go there and do that. So once she came back off of her leave, she moved back into a position at the Fame Center, working in the Fame Center. So therefore, it left no one on payroll of the city that was available to go over there and do what we had attempted to do. So there was never I guess, other than that employee, there was never anyone else considered for the position, because there was no position as such that had a salary created. So it was just left that way. So what you're asking for now is to create a new position for a person to work at the Black History Museum. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I understand that it would not be a new position. I was under the understanding that those positions would be filled simultaneously, so I didn't understand it. From my understanding, that it would not be new, it would just be new that we were using the librarian to, just working through the library to fill those positions, but I'm not necessarily asking for a new city position, but if that's what it takes, then certainly, I mean, I would ask for that, but I didn't think it would need to require a new city position, if you would. I thought it was already understood that someone would fill that position. I thought that was already an understood thing that we would do. So now, whether it needs to be a new position, or maybe it may require something totally different, a different process, but that was not my request to create a new position. I just thought that it would be a position to go ahead and fulfill. I thought it was just a vacant position that we had to fill at this time.
Well, we've never had anyone in that position. I think we presented it and proposed a way of doing it, and we're never able to follow through with that. Personnel director is here. At this point, the only way would have to create a new position. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What department would that kind of position fall under?
It would fall under the libraries department. But you would really need to get with Julie on the finances and our top heavy on the payroll.
Because now that we're halfway through the budget year, it's hard to create a
Right.
salary for
Right.
a new position.
Well, I guess simply, Mayor, I guess my request is that we fill the position, because my understanding, number one, that position has been filled at the museum that's closest to us. I was under the impression that both positions would be filled at the same time. So I was never aware that there needed to be an additional job requirement created to fill that position. I always thought that the slot would be filled through the library, but at the end of the day, I didn't know necessarily from where the resources would come from, would come out of library budget, or how that would happen. But at the end of the day, that's something that I certainly want us to address, because I feel like it's unfair to actually fill one position and leave the other one vacant. And the original conversation started as to fill both of those positions, not just filling one and leave the other one. Certainly, we've talked about this for a long time in terms of what I think would be the benefit of having someone there on a consistent basis, where the library, or the museum will be open on a consistent basis, where people could go and tour it, and we would have the issue of depending on volunteers to open it up or not. So whatever we need to do to address that, I would certainly like us to have some conversation about it tonight, and certainly talk about how we're going to move forward.
Well, if
Yes,
you're,
ma'am.
Can I just
I'm sorry.
speak to that? Maybe
Sure.
I misunderstand. There is a lease for that facility. The
Okay.
city does not operate that facility. We operate, over here, but we don't operate that one. They're actually under a separate lease. So you asked for the city to create a city position to work over there under the lease?
Yes, that conversation has been had, so, I mean, we're very aware of the dynamics that there's a lease there, so we've had that conversation before. We understand the dynamics there, so, certainly because there's a lease, but the city does maintain that facility, even though it's under a lease, the city does maintain it, so the city owns the property, even though it's leased to the Elmore County Black Heritage Society, the Black Heritage Museum, so that conversation has been had, but yes, if that's what is required, then yes, I would like us to look at how we do that, because if I'm not mistaken, that other museum was under similar circumstances. I think that lease was maybe just ended within the last year or so. I don't know how long
It
that
was, it had been expired a couple of years, and we didn't, there's a current lease at Black History Museum, but there was an expired lease.
But yes, that is what I'm asking, and if that was an issue, we should address that issue at the time we had the conversation, because we have met with that group to talk about this. This is not a new
Okay,
situation.
my understanding was the proposal that was made originally was that you would take someone from the library, which is a city employee, to assist them with keeping that facility open. That would still be reported in the city because it's a city employee. We cannot farm out city employees to another entity without being under the supervision of the city. I do not believe.
Right, and so this person would be under the supervision of the city, working with the library, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not saying that we form it out to raise a nonprofit or a different entity. They would still be under the direct supervision of the city. So they would, in turn, be a city employee that's working part-time.
So you're okay with somebody from the library going on there?
My goal was to have someone there working part-time, have a facility open part-time. Whoever that person is, I'm not saying who it should be. I'm saying that that facility should be operational part-time. So where that employee comes from, I'm indifferent about that. I just certainly wanted I wanted to have some standard operating hours, part-time hours. And that was my understanding from the very beginning, and that's what I thought we all understood from the very beginning.
I don't think there'd be a problem with that.
As long as you're not creating a position, you are taking someone from the library that's already in a position, halving their time between the library and between the museum. There is no position created.
Listen, I totally get that.
Okay.
So let's understand this, that the whole conversation about taking someone from the library just happened last year. That
Right.
whole,
That's how it all began.
right, well, it began before that, but I think the conversation came last year that it needed to be working up under the auspices of the library. I don't know if anybody was in a disagreement with that, at least I was, and my goal was to make sure that we have some operating hours, some standard operating hours that we can post on the website or post, hey, the Black History Museum is open from this hour to this hour. So if an employee got to come from the the library or the city or wherever in order to make it work, that's the first thing that I certainly want to try to make sure we address. Because that was my understanding from the very beginning, that it needs to be a city employee, not that we would lease an employee out to a nonprofit organization.
What's the demand for that, and would be opening one day a week, be enough?
No, personally, I would think that we would need to have them at least 3 days a week. But when you say the demand, we've had people to come there and the facility not be open. So there is demand, but it needs to be some regularity and not just 1 day a week. And I would think at least it needs to be at least 3 days a week. And I don't know the required hours, that's something that needs to be maybe probably discussed with the Black History Museum Board. I don't know exactly, I do know they have the quotas there, so I don't know all the internal operations of that, something I think they will be amenable to discuss with us. I don't necessarily know the answer to that in terms of exactly what days need to be open, but I think it needs to be open at a minimum of probably 3 days a week.
I think you're exactly right. I think that's the way, if you're gonna do it, you need to do it correctly, and you need to have it open at a time when it's convenient for people to come, school children, whomever wants to come, that you maintain those hours, and whether you work it within a 20-hour or a 25-hour, or whatever you do. If you take a 20-hour, you're splitting a 40-hour a week between, the library and that. So there are ways to fill that. So do this, if you will. Give us an opportunity to get with Miss Susan, the librarian, and talk with her and see exactly where she is in staffing and see where we are that we can come up with some way to make this work. And in the meantime, see what that lease does to us. If that lease is creating a problem for us, then we need to know that. If it's not, then we go ahead and do what we want to do. But it would be kind of like you decided to send an employee over to the Boys and Girls Club to put in some hours at the Boys and Girls Club on city payroll. And they're not gonna let you do that. But let's see what answers we can get on this, Mr. Attorney.
What I would suggest is that we reach out to the Black History organization, because the way I see it would certainly be a partnership. I mean, it'd be a partnership that's mutually beneficial to not only the city, but to that organization and the community as well. So when there are strategic partnerships or joint partnerships all the time with organizations, and keep in mind that we do own the building, even though it's leased out.
We do, that lease is what gets us.
Right, so I think, and I don't want to speak for anyone, I think Mrs. Pace's here, I don't know if she could speak to this now, but certainly I think they would be willing to have some conversation with us on how we can work through. She's the president of the Black History Museum, so I think they'd be amenable to sit down and talk about how we can work through this.
Let me ask this question. Susan,
Yes.
you have had communication back and forth. You know, y'all have contact information, right? You know who to talk to.
Right, I have
Okay.
information with Ms. Pace.
Okay, they have been, I think when we attempted to do this, she was in conversation with them at that period of time, right?
Right, then.
So is it feasible at by our next meeting that maybe the two of you all can talk and figure out, or however we need to do it, but just have a plan of action for the next council meeting so we can take the action on it one way or another? Is that feasible?
I think so. I think if the council's in agreement on this, and we don't have a legal hurdle here that we gotta figure out how to get over.
It's me again.
Okay, back to the personnel.
I'm sorry. When we started all this, I was under, and I know all of y'all were, that Gwen was gonna take it. She was going to work for Susan part-time and do the Black History Museum.
Yes.
Well, now Gwen is at the senior center, and Susan has no one that can go to the Black History Museum. They're all, the understanding was that it was going to be Gwen.
Ms. Hutchins, nodding her head yes. That means,
Right.
yes, you're in agreement, you have no one, not yes, I do have.
I'm agreeing with Kathy's assessment of the way we were going.
Give us, here's the other side of this thing for your information. When you deal with salaries in municipal government, the rule of thumb is you want your salaries to be somewhere in the 50-52% range of your budget. When you start getting over that, you start possibly getting yourself in trouble. We're now at roughly 56% of our budget in salaries. So to create a new position and fund a new position, what does that do to those numbers? Now, the only thing that has saved us in a lot of situations is some people who had 20 years, 30 years, 35 years, departed the city, retirement or whatever. So that helps you on that end because the people that you bring in do not come in at those same salaries that those people left. So that gives you some wiggle room in this. So I think that's another thing that needs to be looked at, is to see exactly where we are in percentage of your salaries and percentage of your budget. But give us a few days to look at this and see where the challenges are going to be. If there's not any, then the council can set a position, create a new position if they want to bring somebody in and do that. Okay? Is that okay?
That'll work for me.
Okay.
The second thing, and I've gotten some clarity on the updated proposed starting date for research of south of Papione Street, but if Mr. Tex, if you want to go ahead for the record and just
Yes,
address that.
the county is letting that bid in May, and they're subject to start in June or July. And that will not only include Papione, but it will include Gossamer also. They're researching that. That'll be in the same contract.
Aren't the two other areas in the levy other than Wetumpka?
It is, but it's included in the Papione. It's just
Covered under Papione.
right. It's covered under that. There's actually some on South Pine.
South, that's
And,
right.
I believe there's a little bit on Uchicuchi.
Uchalakuchi, that's
Thank you, Mr. Tex. And lastly, if we can have Jason, we talked about the continuation of some of the demolition projects that we had started at the beginning of this quadrennium. So Jason, if you don't mind, just give us an update on what we've been able to accomplish and then some of the projects that we're still looking at.
Okay. I wish I'd printed this out for everyone, but I'll try to hold it where you can see it. This is a list of what we done last year. We had 3 houses that was taken down by the homeowners themselves, and we had 3 that was taken down by the city's force. Homeowner on South Shelby Street, 100 South Shelby Street took care of one. The city demoed one at 718 Marshall Street, 720 Marshall Street, 914 North Bridge. Homeowner took down one at 908 North Bridge. And a homeowner took down one at 608 Alabama Street. So we've had good success last year. Biggest thing with demo was texting everybody to tell you we have a very limited budget for taking down houses. I'm not sure the number which Julie was here. I think we have $6,500 maybe in our budget to demo houses. Fortunately, the 3 we got down last year was right next to each other, so the contractor can just move from one lot to the next. 6,500, you might can get 2, possibly 3 again if you kind of group them together. Within this package that the mayor has, there's some more that we have identified. Councilman Gill rode around with us one day looking at certain houses. I think there's 14 on here. There may be others in your district that you want to look and identify. But my main goal was to try to get some that was what I call the no-brainers. It's already fallen down their own. It wouldn't be any in question. We'd have a lot of resistance on them. But a lot of it, if you see one in your district, sometimes if you just talk to that homeowner and let them know what we're doing here, how we're trying to clean the city up, they'll be able to take those down. Sometimes conversations within those districts work well. But I guess the main thing tonight is that if you all want to say, hey, let's press forward with this, then we'll press forward and look at the budget numbers and see what we can do with it.
Jesse, if you could, real quick, could you just kind of talk about what we call the prerequisites that we kind of determined why we want to focus on those particular houses? You know, why did we?
Well, these on this list, when you look at them, if I turn it around, you'll see these on this list are just about falling down on their own. I mean, we're not going around and just looking at some that may have a little roof damage, leaking, or a rotten fascia board. These houses here, you can tell they've been sitting like this for years and years, and they're an eyesore and a blight to the neighborhoods and to the community, a danger and a health hazard. But these, and some of them on here, like this one on Cotton Street, it may not be some of the worst ones on the list, but they have been identified, and there's a number of them, not just this list. This was the main one that we looked at, and I think that's the main thing, to get the one that's already falling in on their own right now.
That 721 Marshall Street's bad.
You looking at number 5 here?
Number 5.
The address is actually above the picture, so I'm gonna.
Yeah,
It's gone.
908 North Bridge Street,
It's gone.
is that it? So it's demolished.
It's gone. That's the ones we took a look at when we got out of here first thing, because there's no question they need to go. But the others on there, and again, I think, personally, I would like to continue there as a mobile home on North Bridge Street, as soon as you pull out the cemetery. If we get that one right there, then that kind of swings up North Bridge over next to the cemetery, and that'll get all of that area. After that, and, you know, just let me know what direction or which houses you'd like to see us try to get at.
Thank you, Jason. And just one final thing now for you, just want to make sure that the citizens are aware that this effort had been ongoing long before I got elected. So it's not that I came in with a hatchet and said we're just gonna start tearing down houses, but some of these structures, from a health and safety standpoint, needed to be torn down. And then also from a value, community value standpoint, they need to go anyway. I mean, most of us wouldn't want this type of blight beside our personal properties. So this is something I want to bring back to the council's attention to make sure that we're aware that we want to continue to do this. Again, because it's simply, we say we're the city of natural beauty, that's our slogan, but we don't want people driving through our neighborhoods and seeing the type of blight that we have here, not only from a property value standpoint, but from just a health and safety standpoint. So hopefully you guys understand. If anyone knows anybody that has the issue, by all means, we've been willing to work with people. I think we've done a pretty good job with that. We're not just coming up saying, hey, this needs to be gone tomorrow. We've tried to work within the confines of the law, but at the same time, we don't want people to do what they've done in the previous years, is kind of toy with the city and never really address the issues that we're concerned about. So, thank you guys.
Just to follow up on that, we give ample opportunity to everyone on here to try to take care of the properties themselves. We send out certified letters according to the law we posted on the site. These houses that we torn down, no one contacted us to try to take care of the issue before the city did.
Thank you.
We pretty well, the ones that you did put a lien on when we did it pretty well collected back.
We collected one.
Collected one out of the three. And it's not only that, it's overgrown properties and things like that that we deal with. A vacant lot somewhere just kind of gets overlooked, and we have to come in and go through the process of finding out who owns the property and then get the property cut or whatever. If they won't cut it, then we have to take other measures to get it cut. Okay, now we'll move on into the council meeting. And the invitation this evening to give